Hey, Holy Watchers, here are 7 signs that you've raised your frequency high. And if this resonates with you, do not deviate from what you're doing. It means you're doing something right and you're on your way. So let's tune in. Here we go. You weren't meant to fit in. You were meant to evolve. I bet you felt it, that shift, that strange sense that you don't quite fit in the way you used to. Conversations that once excited you now seem shallow. The things that used to bother you, they barely register anymore. That's not a coincidence. You're changing. You're operating at a higher frequency and most people will not understand. When your vibration rises, the world around you reacts. Some people will be drawn to you like a magnet, sensing something different, something powerful. Others, they'll resist, dismissing your growth because they can't see what you see. And that's the thing. When you start vibrating on a different level, you experience reality in a way that most people never will. So how do you know if it's happening to you? Here are 7 unmistakable signs that your frequency has elevated. And once you recognize it, there's no going back. You feel detached from the usual drama. Have you noticed that the things that used to trigger you just don't anymore? The gossip, petty conflicts, the need to prove yourself in an argument. It all feels distant, like background noise you no longer care to tune into. That's because your frequency has risen above it. When you operate at a higher vibration, you no longer feed into drama because you see it for what it really is, a distraction. You understand that constantly engaging in negativity, in competition, or ego-driven conflicts only lowers your energy. And so you step back. Not because you don't care, but because you choose peace over chaos. But here's the thing. Most people won't get it. They might say you've changed, that you're too quiet or too distant. They might even try to drag you back in just to get a reaction. Let them. You're not here to convince anyone. You're here to protect your energy and focus on what truly matters. And when you rise above the noise, you realize something powerful. Drama only exists if you choose to engage with it. Have you felt this shift in your life? You're experiencing more synchronicities. Have you been noticing repeating numbers everywhere? These aren't coincidences, they're synchronicities, messages from the universe guiding you towards alignment. But here's where it gets tricky. Most people don't know. They brush off synchronicities as random chance, just a coincidence. But deep down, you know better. The more aware you become, the clearer it is that the universe is speaking to you. The question is, are you listening? Have you been noticing synchronicities in your life? If so, don't ignore them. Your old life is not fitting anymore, and that's a sign of something even bigger. Keep watching. Your old life no longer fits. Something feels off, doesn't it? The places, the routines, even the people you used to vibe with, none of it feels the same anymore. It's almost like you've outgrown a version of yourself that the world still expects you to be. That's because you have. When your frequency rises, the thing that once felt comfortable starts to feel restrictive. The conversations you used to enjoy now seem empty. The habits you once indulged in no longer bring you the same satisfaction. Even certain friendships or relationships might start feeling forced, like you're holding on to something that no longer resonates with who you've become. This isn't a bad thing. It's a sign of evolution. Growth is uncomfortable because it requires you to step away from the familiar and into the unknown. And let's be honest, most people won't understand. They'll tell you, you've changed, and as if it's a problem. But change is the very essence of life. You weren't meant to stay the same. The hardest part, letting go. It's natural to cling to the past, especially when it feels like shedding an old identity. But here's the truth. You're not losing yourself. You're finding yourself at a higher level. The old life no longer fits because a new, more aligned version of you is emerging. Your sensitivity to energy has increased. You walk into a room, and before anyone even speaks, you can feel the energy. Some places uplift you instantly, while others make you uneasy for reasons you can't explain. You sense shifts in people's moods before they say a word. Even crowded spaces drain you in a way they never used to. This isn't in your head. Your sensitivity to energy has increased. When your frequency rises, you become more attuned to the unseen forces around you. You pick up on vibrations, subtle yet powerful waves of energy that most people ignore. This can be a gift, but let's be honest, it can also feel overwhelming. You might find yourself needing more solitude, drawn to nature or craving environments that feel peaceful and light. Loud, chaotic, or negative spaces feel unbearable. You no longer tolerate forced conversations or fake interactions. And while others may think you're too sensitive, the truth is you're simply more aware. But here's the challenge. Protecting your energy when you vibrate at a higher level, you can't afford to be around people or situations that drain you. Not because you're weak, but because your energy is valuable and you must guard it fiercely. Your desire for material things has shifted. Something strange has happened. You no longer crave those things you once did. The endless pursuit of status, expensive possessions, or external validation just doesn't hold the same power over you anymore. It's not that you don't appreciate nice things. You do, but they no longer define your happiness. When your frequency rises, your priorities shift. You start valuing experiences over objects, growth over status, and inner peace over external validation. The need to prove yourself through what you own or how others see you starts to fade because you realize that true fulfillment comes from within, not from anything outside of you. This can confuse people. Find you have an unshakable inner peace. There's a calmness within you now, one that wasn't always there. Life still throws challenges your way, but something inside you has changed. You don't react the way you used to. The things that once rattled you now feel insignificant. The chaos of the world still exists, but it no longer shakes your foundation. This is what happens when you start operating at a higher frequency. You've stepped into a state of inner peace that isn't dependent on external circumstances. You no longer seek validation from others, nor do you allow their opinions to dictate your emotions. You understand that everything is temporary, both the highs and the lows, and that true stability comes from within. Most people won't understand this. They live in a constant state of emotional reactivity, letting every inconvenience, every negative comment, and every setback control their moods. But you've realized that peace is a choice and you choose it daily. This doesn't mean you don't feel emotions. You do, but you process them differently. You don't cling to them or let them define you. Instead, you observe and accept and let go. And here's the most powerful part. People will notice. Some will be drawn to your energy wanting to know your secret. Others may try to test you just to see if they can break your composure. But nothing they do can take away what you built inside. You're more drawn to solitude and deep conversations now. Lately, have you found yourself craving more solitude, alone time? Do surface level conversations feel draining while deep, meaningful discussions leave you feeling energized? This isn't random. It's a sign your frequency has shifted. When you start operating at a higher vibration, meaningless small talk and forced social interactions begin to feel exhausting. You no longer have the patience for gossip, negativity, or conversations that lack depth. Instead, you're drawn to discussions that expand your mind and nourish your soul, the kind that make you question reality, dive into spiritual truths, or unlock new perspectives. And then there's the solitude. You're not lonely. You just enjoy your own energy more than ever before. Silence becomes your sanctuary. Time alone no longer feels empty. Instead, it's where you recharge, reflect, and connect with yourself on a deeper level. If you've resonated with these signs, you're not alone. You're shifting, evolving, and stepping into a version of yourself most people won't understand. And that's okay. Raising your frequency means seeing the world through a different lens. It means experiencing life with deeper awareness, sensing things that others ignore, and letting go of distractions that once held you back. Let them. Your journey is yours alone. And the more you trust this transformation, the clearer everything will become. The people, opportunities, and experiences that align with your new frequency will naturally find their way to you. Truth is, chosen family, many will envy you because they notice you've changed, but they no longer serve you, so they'll fade away if you allow them to. If this is you, you've aligned. Congrats. See you in the next one.